What's good, boys? In this video, I'm just going to tell you exactly what the main causes of your lack of focus are. And I'm just literally going to tell you how you can solve them, because most of us deal with most of these at some point or another. Like, the majority of us will actually deal with the majority of these things. And I've got them listed out here just so I don't forget any for you guys. So we're just going to start. The number one I want to talk about, and like nowadays it's the most important, most impactful one, is an artificially raised dopamine baseline. So this is when you have just oversaturated your brain with these hyper stimulating things like scrolling, TV, maybe video games, and your baseline for what your brain feels is interesting or feels like it can pay attention to goes up and up and up and up over time. And many of us have literally been saturating our dopamine receptors like this for years, maybe a decade, maybe more. And when you do this, the things that you actually care about that are important, that benefit your life, but are more difficult, things like reading, deep work, training, maybe playing an instrument, or maybe it's some other hobby that you have, you might really enjoy these things. You might really like doing them. But it's like, for your brain, it's so much less dopamine. It's stimulating, but it's not hyper stimulating like all the other stuff that you're consuming. So when you try to do some deep work or read a book or even think about doing it, your brain just doesn't see it as interesting because relative to the other stuff, it's not. So the thing is, for example, reading, I really enjoy reading when I actually sit down to do it. But if I've been scrolling that day, just the thought of reading just does not appeal to me, even though I know, like, if I sit down and do it, even with my fried dopamine receptors, I'll still enjoy it. And I've made a lot of progress in this now. Like, I'm nowhere near, my dopamine baseline is much lower. I can enjoy things that are much less immediately stimulating. And that's the real fix. Literally just accepting, first of all, what you're doing that's hyper stimulating, that's not really benefiting your life. Probably scrolling, probably something to do with the screen or social media, and just reducing that as much as you can right now. Because when you do that, your baseline goes down and you find more things interesting. So the next one is task switching. Now we're going to get into more specific things when you're working. When you're working and you switch tasks, you might say, let's say you're writing a book and you go to check your emails 25 minutes in. You just check it really quick, you respond. You literally do it in 20 seconds. That only took 20 seconds, but it filled another, basically your prefrontal cortex has space for like a certain number of things. And you basically fill another item into your hotbar. And even when you go straight back to it, you stop thinking about it, it's taking up mental space and it's reducing your focus. And the task residue, when you switch from one task to another, basically is really bad for your focus. And it actually takes like minutes and minutes. Some people say up to 25 minutes to get back into full focus. But most people are switching tasks more than every 25 minutes. So what that actually means is you might never even be fully focused in the first place. So if you can eliminate that, F11, like close the other tabs, just have one thing you're working on, and just every time you're about to switch, just try and catch yourself. Your focus will get so much better immediately and over time. The next thing is sleep deprivation. So this is one of the boring ones, but it's so real. Like, do you ever have those days where you literally just can't think straight? Like, you physically can't focus. It's not like you're going on your phone. Your mind just won't lock on to what you're trying to do. More often than not, this is sleep deprivation, because when you're in a sleep debt, focus is one of the first things to go, because your prefrontal cortex function is just degraded immediately, because it's just one of the first things to go biologically for whatever reason. And I could go into a whole thing on sleep, but most of you guys probably know the basics. So I'll just tell you like really quickly what I do and a couple of extras. You want to be sleeping in 90-minute blocks. So I don't mean sleep 90 minutes and wake up. I mean, your night of sleep should add up to like 6 or 7 totals of 90 minutes. So I sleep either 7.5 hours a night or 9 hours a night, depending on like the season of life I'm in. So go to bed at the same time, wake up, you know all this. A few extra things, hot shower before bed is absolutely overpowered. Like, you will have the best sleep of your night. Uncaffeinated tea. Make a nighttime wind down routine, and then just read. And if you want to, like, if it helps you, you can listen to brown noise or like relaxing music. This helps me a lot. So yeah, just like, we can all improve our sleep. We all know the things we're not doing when it comes to sleep. So just do your best to work on this, and you'll reduce the amount of days where you struggle to focus. Next thing is glucose. So your brain runs on glucose. A lot of you might know this already. And one of the biggest things that will take an absolute chunk out of your focus, that really messed me up for a long time, is a blood sugar swing. So particularly the crash after a high glycemic spike, because whatever happens to your body with that spike, it just takes away your ability to focus like nothing else. It will make it so difficult. So the practical takeaway from this is, don't eat a lot of carbs before you focus, or before you want to do something where you focus. Ideally, don't eat any, and just move them all later in the day after you're doing that. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all you have to do. Just don't eat carbs early before you work. Another boring one, but it's so important, is hydration, because even a small level of dehydration has been shown to measurably reduce your attention. I'm not going to go into more on that. Just drink enough. Make sure you're hydrated. Another one so many people seem to either forget about or not exist is open loops. Basically, when you have decisions in your mind that you haven't made yet. So like, you looked at a message on your phone before you worked, but you didn't answer. That is now going to take up mental space for the entire day until you make that decision, until you reply or whatever you have to do. So ideally, you don't want to make any decisions before you work in a day. Like, just work basically immediately. Don't do anything significant. And if you do need to make decisions before you work, just get them done. Just get it out of the way. Something that I've never really had a problem with, but I know a lot of people do, is cues in your physical environment. So having a thing like literally in the room you work in, or at your desk or whatever, which is just there, it's going to distract you. Like, if you have your phone on your desk when you're working, unless you're literally using it to record, just the presence of it has been shown, like, it's been proven in studies to reduce your attention, because it's associated with so much distraction that just having it there is taking a toll on your focus. And then if you have like distractions on your desk, like just bullshit on your desk, or if you have multiple tabs open that you don't need when you're working, all of these things are just draining your attention. They're just scattering it across multiple different areas, making it so much harder to focus. Another one that I absolutely love talking about, if you guys have seen my TikTok, you'll see I'm obsessed with this, is a lack of external pressure. A lack of external pressure will make you so much worse in terms of your focus. So I feel this every summer, like after I finish school, or now after I finish college. In college, I leave everything till the last minute, because I'm not being lazy, as it might sound, but I know how well I work under deadlines. When I have a deadline, when it's a day or hours away from the deadline, I will get it done. I will not go over that deadline. And I know I work 2-3 times faster with the deadline. So basically, I will just plan to leave it, and I will absolutely rapidly do it the day of the deadline. Because basically, deadlines incite action, and open-ended timeframes incite slowness. Because without a deadline, or without having some level of importance, your brain just doesn't prioritize the task. It's actually where I got my name. The part of your brain that decides when to put your attention on something is called the locus coeruleus. My name is Coeruleus. And deadlines approaching basically, make your brain prioritize that task. Another one I've never heard this talked about is identity. You need to constantly remind yourself that you are somebody who focuses, you are somebody who takes the things that you do seriously, and you focus on them without multitasking, without distracting yourself mid-task. This is something I still have to constantly do as somebody who has been actively working on my focus for 4 years. I still need to remind myself, like, yeah, I'm somebody who focuses, because when you do this, when that desire to indulge in a distraction comes up, if you're somebody who focuses, you'll ignore that distraction. If you're not somebody who focuses, you'll likely give in to that distraction. You literally just need to remind yourself constantly, I am somebody who focuses. I am somebody who stays away from distractions when I'm doing the things that matter to me. Another one is not having a clear task, because ambiguity about what you have to do next. So like not having a clear plan is just going to fragment your focus so much, and more often than not, you're going to decide to do some bullshit. Like, it's the reason everyone says you have to plan your day the day before. Obviously, you can't plan it exactly, but especially the beginning of your day, you need to have a plan what you're going to do. Next is an environment mismatch. If you're trying to work somewhere, do deep work somewhere, if you're trying to do deep work in a shallow environment, like in public or in your living room, or like sitting on your bed, it's just not a match. Just go somewhere where depth is allowed to happen. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. You guys probably deal with a lot of these right now. I know I even have some I need to work on more, and I've been working on this for a long time. So I hope you guys got value out of this video, and I hope you apply this and have better focus. Peace.